It is my simple task this evening to welcome you to the beautiful surroundings of the Echo Park, for which we thank Your Excellency for being most gracious in accommodating us. Now, tonight's ceremony really is intended not only to recognize long and meritorious service by those individuals who would have rendered yeoman service to Jane France General Hospital since it opened its doors on the 14th of December of 1967. It is also an opportunity for us to look back from where we've come as an institution, as the premier institution-based health service in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And while we have been chronicling all the achievements that the institution would have attained over the years, it is also an opportunity for us to look forward, as our program for the opening service that launched our activities would have stated, moving forward. I think that was one of the sub-themes, but the core theme that we would have used for the entire celebration of the 50th anniversary was 50 years of progress, 50 years of endurance, 50 years of quality health services. Now, as I stated, we would have begun the 50th anniversary with a special Thanksgiving service on the 14th of December in 2017 at the Zion Moravian Church. And coincidentally, it happened to have been the exact anniversary and the exact date when Jane France Hospital opened its doors, because on that date in 1967, it was also a Thursday, just like the service that we had in December. Now, much has been written and much has been said about the history of Jane France General Hospital over the course of the last 3 months. A lot of it would have been outlined in the booklet that would have been prepared for the service in December, and some of it again would have been mentioned in your program for this evening's proceedings. So I will not punish you by recapping what is in there. What I will say, however, is that in short, Jane France General Hospital would have been built by the Bradshaw-led administration to replace the outgrown structure that was once deemed the Cunningham Hospital in Bastille, the site on which now occupies the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College. And many of us in this room who are old enough would have been born at that facility, even though we might not want to admit it. And that would have been at a time when some of our parents would have been fortunate enough to be able to have a hospital birth as opposed to a home birth. Much has happened since then, and as a result, Jane France Hospital now has at least 167 beds, broken out in terms of surgical, maternity, oncology services, accident and emergency, pediatric and medical wards. And at the same time, the institution would have grown from strength to strength in terms of offering specialized services to meet the challenges that we continue to confront as a developing nation. Most of these challenges have been managed quite well by the staff and the management of the hospital, but as I would have noted in the opening service in December and in the message that would have been rendered to commemorate that event, our most formidable challenge still is the issue of non-communicable diseases. And it is for that reason why we would have taken the time, especially within the last 3 to 8 years, in terms of the introduction of services such as hemo and peritoneal dialysis, services such as the oncology unit and so forth, the addition of an ICU, and there is still much more to be done in the medium to long term, including at least a basic cardiac center so that we can better respond to the needs of our citizens who continue to be confronted by non-communicable diseases, which happen to be our leading cause of death and disability in St. Kitts and Nevis. But this evening is meant to look at things in a more lighter fashion and to say thank you in humble ways, in jovial ways. It is also an opportunity for us to thank those persons who are no longer with us, those who are still working with the institution, and to begin to chart a course of example for those who continue to work for the institution in terms of adopting what can be considered an exemplary work ethic for those who have gone before. We know that we reside in a St. Kitts and Nevis where the issue of work ethic, productivity and performance seems to be a game of shifting targets these days, where standards are different. And it is for this reason why we need to look to the acknowledgement and the recognition of service given by others, especially those who would have built up the institution. And for that reason, I'm very grateful that Sir Kennedy is here, considering that he was one of the pillars who would have assisted in the development of Joseph N. France General Hospital insofar as the issue of anesthesiology would be concerned. There are others of his fraternity who are no longer with us. A number of them have died, including the late Dr. Lofton Richardson, who would have been his successor, including our former Governor General, Dr. Sir Cuthbert Sebastian, who also functioned as CMO, Medical Chief of Staff, and also an OBGYN by profession. And there are a host of other individuals who would have contributed to the development of JNF. But I cannot leave out those individuals and organizations who continue to partner with the institution, such as the Pediatric Assistance League, the Mental Health Association of St. Kitts and Nevis, the various church groups that continue to visit the hospital, the World Pediatric Project, which is an international charity that does work on a charitable basis for children with deformities and other issues. And to every one of these organizations and agencies, we say a hearty thank you. What we are doing tonight cannot repay you for the investment of time, effort, talent, and treasure that you would have put into the institution, but it is our way to say we appreciate you and we applaud you.